Good afternoon, friends. It's Heather at Bush Poppy Farm. I've had a headache, a really bad one, a migraine, since Wednesday night. So yesterday, even though it was a bright sunny day, I spent the whole day in bed, which really sucked. And I still have that headache today. It's not nearly as bad, so I'm trying really hard to be productive. It is the afternoon on Friday, and I have a very short time out here before I need to go pick up Aiden, who's also suffering today with migraine. So what I'm going to do is try to get the wood cut for making this lily bed, raised bed, and it's real simple. 6x4, just screw it together. I am going to have to double decor it because I only have 6 by 2 by 6 by I don't know, 10, I think this is, feet long. And it really should be a little bit taller than that, but I have plenty of these boards. And they are pressure treated. I would not use pressure treated wood for food items, but because this is lilies and no one's gonna eat them, not the least of reason why it's toxic, it's gonna be totally fine to have pressure treated wood. This wood came from the high tunnel. It was the baseboards at the high tunnel because pressure treated wood up against raw soil means it'll last longer. In our home garden, our raised beds for our fruit and vegetables is made of redwood, which is not pressure treated, but also lasts for a very long time. We've had redwood raised beds last us for upwards of 10 years. So definitely worth the extra cost involved in that. All right, I'm going to start measuring and try to get these cuts made. One of the awesome things about having a Rivian is that it has outlets in it and I can run plug-in machinery off of the car battery, so it's pretty cool. So I'm going to get these cuts made here. I think Mike's going to try to come up with me this afternoon after we get Aiden and move some of this compost for me. I'm feeling under time crunch and we're about to get more rain, so in between the intense rain, it's what we're trying to do is get some work done. Also, all the dahlias just arrived today in boxes, and they'll be okay for a couple of days. I might, if I can find some space in the greenhouse, I might go on and get those pre-sprouting, so I can also take cuttings of those. So yeah, we'll see. I'm gonna get started on this, and we'll see how far we can get before I need to take off to go get Aiden. Well, all I got done was the cuts, and then I did carry it down to the far end where I need them to be. I had loaded the whole thing up, all the lumber up in the gorilla cart, and halfway there, you know, where the ground starts getting too tippy, where I need to like till to create a flat pathway, the cart tipped and I dumped all of that lumber on about 10 feet of ranunculus, flattened them. You know, it used to be up until relatively recently, you know, at night, I lay in bed thinking about all the things I can't wait to do the next day at the farm. But now when I come out here to the farm and I open that gate, all I have is a sense of dread. What's going to be dead? What's going to be gone? You know, I was looking at the feverfew. I planted 60 feverfew seedlings. There are 8 left. 8. Out of all the ranunculus, there's one bed that there's like maybe 2 plants left in the whole thing. But I'm angry. I'm angry, and I hate that I feel like everything I'm doing out there is a waste of time because it's all just going to disappear anyway. It's just such a negative mindset, and I don't want to be that way, but I'm really frustrated. If I hadn't planted the tulips at my house and had, like, all the daffodils are permanent at my house, I don't know that I would have spring flowers for this CSA this season. You know, and a lot of people have said, why don't you rebuild your beds and put hardware cloth on the bottom? I could do that, but number one, that's a lot of hardware cloth. And number two, as part of no-till, I broad fork those beds. In order to keep the soil healthy, I aerate those beds. You can't do that if they're lined with hardware cloth. If you guys have suggestions, I would love to hear it. I'd love to hear it because I'm just so frustrated. I looked at purchasing gopher shield, you know, gopher baskets for all the dahlias that I'm going to plant. And they are $17 per piece for a 1-gallon pot size. So I'm not doing that. I'm going to make them. And I'll definitely use them because that's the only thing that's going to protect those dahlias from being destroyed. The lily raised bed will have hardware cloth on the bottom. So, you know, that'll be good. And I'll probably cover the top with it too until they get pretty tall because other things come in and eat the tops off. So it's just constant. I don't know. This is my 4th year farming, and I've never had this much trouble with wildlife just decimating everything. Hey friends, it's the next day. I'm out at the farm, not to work though. It's going to be raining, and God, still have a terrible headache. But I wanted to show you. Mike and I. Sorry, this is very slippery. I'm trying not to slip and slide and fall. Mike and I came out last night. Whoa! Even in the midst of my head was killing me. But we came out last night and got a lot done. First of all, I caught 2 gophers yesterday evening. So that actually gave me some hope. I know that sounds terrible, and it's not that I like it when things die, but I feel like I'm learning how to use those traps correctly, and maybe I actually can get on top of this and still have a crop to grow. But we came out in the evening and laid down. Mike wheeled over the rest of the compost for me, which is a lot of compost. So we got the beds built and the cloth laid. I did realize at 2 a.m. when I was laying there ruminating like always that I needed to put the irrigation down before we put the cloth down, but that's okay because it's not stapled in yet because I was just in too much pain at that point last night. I was like, let's just go home. I'll staple it tomorrow. So it's not a big deal. I can just roll it back each panel, put the irrigation down, and then staple it all down in place. So this is done. It's a huge, huge project. And this is another 4 beds that are 40 feet long. for use. I only thought I was going to fit 3 here, but we've got 4. So I think since I'm running low on compost, believe it or not, I'm going to save what's left. I think it'll be just enough for this bed, which is the lily bed that I'm going to build probably Monday, because tomorrow it's going to be raining all day. And then this area that I had staked out for another bed, I'm not going to worry about it this year because instead of 4 by 6, I gained 40 feet. So that's quite a bit. Still no germination on the poppies or any of the other stuff that we put in here. I did have some germination here. I do, but things are getting eaten, see? So I think what I'm gonna have to do is come through, re-sow, and cover this with bird netting because I think it's birds that are eating these. And that's understandable. They do that this time of year because it's fresh greens. So I do have some, I could put row cover over that again and then they won't be able to get in there and eat it. And I haven't seen, so the sweet peas are here. They're looking great. Nothing's eating those. I haven't seen gopher activity here yet, but we will. So I now have 4 gopher hawk traps. And basically every day I need to come out and move them to a new location because the gophers are constantly creating new tunnels and stuff. So they don't really only work in their new places. So I'm going to move these right now and then head home and honestly go to bed. I only got a few hours of sleep last night and I'm still suffering with this migraine. But I wanted to show you that we made major progress and that I'm sorry I was such a negative Nelly, even though here's another completely dead feverfew plant. See? So now I have 7 feverfew plants left. But I did catch a gopher in here yesterday and I see brand new tunneling right here. So I'm going to poke around, find the tunnel, put 2 traps around it, catch that one, hopefully, and keep moving on. And I think, you know, I just have to be very active. If one of these traps is not sprung in 24 hours, it needs to move because the gophers have also moved on. So, okay, thanks for putting up with that rant the other day. I'm really trying to switch my attitude. It's challenging, but I'm going to be able to do it. I appreciate you all. I hope you have a wonderful time in your garden, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.